Hmm. Should be fun. Good, I know. So I am kind of expecting this to take a while because one of those racers, it's their first match ever. So this should be fun, as always. But you never know, I can be proved wrong. Oh, yes. Desdar did join this. Oh, he couldn't join this. Okay. Oh well. Hello everyone. How about some technical issues? Let me insert this question in particular. Where's ping? I thought it was pinned. I can find it real quick. Somewhere. There we go. Actually, reposted. It's fine. Just checked. Okay, and now here. Okay, let me. The star is. Anything, we can always hop in voice chat. Myself here. Yeah, how is everyone? Fine. Well, it's evening almost for me. In this fine afternoon with no technical issues whatsoever. Just a regular first world.
Yeah, it's normal. Hi, GFM.
Hello, Pound Noob. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you asking. Thank you for being the early hero for these early matches. You've been catching catching most of them.
I mean, I used to do this a lot until my old PC couldn't handle it, and then I decided to get an all Linux PC, which couldn't handle it as well. So now that I have a shiny new Windows PC, I was like, let me do this while I have the time.
Likewise for me. There's a lot of games scheduled for tomorrow when I'm working, so I'm like, let's get my one commentary in here on
Yeah,
Sunday.
there's also that because I will also be working tomorrow the whole day, so I don't think I will be able to help as much.
Last match of the day. Get your game scheduled, guys. I know looking at the schedule, there are a lot on there, particularly for tomorrow and throughout the week. I know I'm scheduled for next weekend, but with this being an international community, with us being an older community, people are just busy, and people aren't necessarily on your time zone. So get them in the schedule.
A good thing about scheduling early is that you can schedule your match whenever you have an opponent. So even if you're already in round 3, if you have an opponent, you can schedule it. In like last year, or was it the before, Maurice did a trip to Japan while racing in the tournament, but he was so ahead that he could take that trip without any issues.
Yeah, for his racing, we all missed him for his commentary and back-end work, but
Yeah.
I know personally I got busy last year, and so I was like informing my future opponents, like, hey, if I lose this, which I will, uh, I'll be seeing you here. Maybe we can get 2 done in a weekend. You can be proactive.
Yeah.
Do you have the cards available? I'm
I
curious.
have. I would usually wait a bit until we have both racers and stuff, but we can check that right now. Or if you could
It's
handle that while I check here.
yeah, you do your part here. So YatogamiNL is our newest racer. I'm curious if the NL stands for Netherlands, but we'd have to double check. Desdar is our dark racer. I love these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And 4th edition, so been around the block here. They know all, but they can never tell. And a win rate of 4 and 6, which I think is pretty average for somebody who's coming in 4th edition. Generally, as you play more races, you will get better at this very specific skill of mystery racing. So, and we got Sonic. Chat, has anybody seen the Sonic movie? The new one? It has Shadow in it, so you know it is either very good or very bad. Well, also while we have a moment, feel free to subscribe. I'm looking at my Prime subscription now, and it is a few days away, but yours might be available. It will help. There's a few things that they do here to account for costs, including like we have Twitch Turbo, I believe, to avoid ads, and your subscription does actually help for those sort of things.
That, and there is also and there is also all the servers, because everything that you're looking here is powered by Maurice, literally. He has his own server, he made all the tag, and now we just have to access a website and click stuff, and stuff happens. Like we could be seeing the path both racers took here, but as it's their first match, we can't see that yet. But we could. Thanks, Maurice.
Oh, one other, just admin thing while people are getting in here. Do feel free to join races. If you are in this tournament and you haven't raced yet, I will tell you from both experience and what I've seen, it turns out that trying to get things set up, like being ready to have your stream set up, being ready to use IRC, it is good practice, and I highly suggest it to join a race before your first race. That way you aren't stressing about all these things that aren't playing a video game quite quickly.
And even
So,
ask around, and we will gladly take like a reject race, a race of a random game that is the tournament proper, and race it. Just okay, let's set up everything. We did that like 3 times on Friday, I believe.
mhm. I love the reject races, in part because a lot of my games were rejected previously. So I get to see people race games that I've submitted, even if they aren't going to be in the tournament. But partly because we don't really like force people to play the bad games. It's rejects for Mystery Tournament aren't a definition of game was bad, though in theory it could be. It's not really one of the race requirements. We do have things that could also be, an example, Cuso Grande, that show up in Mystery Return just because they are legal races. A better gamer will more likely win than a lesser gamer. Yeah, I haven't seen the first two Sonic's Harp, but I know Jim Carrey made an impression. It's kind of weird to me because I feel like the Sonic movies are in a way targeted towards like 16-year-olds, but Sonic has done as a franchise, has done a really poor job at having good games uh, for the teenagers of our world. So maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe the Sonic movies are actually just for millennials, and uh, Jim Carrey is a comedian made for millennials, which now that I say it out loud seems kind of right.
I should check at some point the Sonic's movies.
I think paying money for them might be a mistake, but
Nah,
I mean the first two are presumably available somewhere.
Netflix probably, which I'm not subscribed to. Uh, huh. Well, I'm just saying what I was going to type. Yeah, Rescue being faster than me at typing.
I'm seeing tangible progress. We're gonna get a raise here sooner rather than later.
Happening. I'm surprised that we have a Andy 48 race chat. Sorry for exposing you.
Race check. I don't know. Not liking video games is not a reason to not play more video games. But,
Of course. And that's a good point. We were talking about reject and stuff before, and even like actually bad games can be fun to race and can be a fun race. So
oh, for
reject
sure.
games aren't necessarily bad. I agree with that. And even if they were bad, it can be a good race.
It turns out if you only play a video game for 40 minutes, it can actually ruin your life. There are there are games that are have taken over people's lives. League of Legends, for some reason, comes to mind. That
Oh,
are, I mean,
I,
they're good at what they do. They're appealing,
I
but
thought you
in
were
the same
talking
way that,
about Adventure Ball.
oh yeah, I mean, Adventure Ball, the first 8 levels are fine, and the ninth level is that's just quality gaming.
Exactly. How else are you going to bound with the rest of the community for 13 hours other than playing that?
It's fine. Just be Maurice. Just beat it in single digits.
Gosh. I mean, to be fair, When I raced that, I raced Jackson and Hopscotch. Alpha 5 joined in the middle of the race, finished the game while we were still running it. So yeah, some people do be like that. Are so close. Is this the notification I want? Nope.
I believe. My desire to just shut up and listen to Kirby or Animal Crossing is very high. The music feed for this return always gets me.
Yay!
Progress, baby!
There we go. Okay, now it's my time to remember how to do this stuff.
It's my turn to distract the chat. Okay, Yorkie, nobody's ever said I want to play it again in reference to Adventure Ball, so I think you have the wrong game. Oh, okay, you didn't finish it. Well, if you didn't finish it, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's not bad. Adventure Ball is a great game, and everybody should play it. While we're waiting here, I do want to give a shout out to the likes of GFM. It turns out that casting and hosting and making sure that everybody also isn't having tech issues is not an easy thing to do. And everybody who's doing work on the back end, everybody who's getting things done, obviously Maurice and Interdirigible being two that will get their compliments throughout this winter season. Hey Toasty. Toasty, it's funny, so I recently just changed my Discord profile, but we've only just met, so you associate me with a Discord profile that I've had for basically 2 or 3 days. But that's my future opponent. And we got a game?
We have a game. First try. That was surprisingly easy.
That entry did not open for me.
You have to
No.
reload it a
I got it.
few times. Entry is being kinda finicky. But yeah, I have to say, having someone here with me commentate stuff makes my life so much more easy.
Well, you guys do it like super early in the morning. I've been catching the VODs of these, but you and Matt have been doing well, and we'll eventually fix Mythical 9 back up to working power.
Enjoying this, but I do also miss Maurice and Myth streaming.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll get there. We've got time.
Yeah.
We are in round 1. There will be plenty of opportunity to hear our favorite voices do their thing.
But it's fun because you say doing those early races. What are you even talking about? It's like 11 a.m. for me. It's perfect time for a race.
I'm Pacific. I was recently on the East
Oh,
Coast,
gosh.
and even just like the 3 hours, I'm like, why are people that I'm talking to trying to talk to me at midnight? Being at on the Pacific Coast gives you like this, just you're at the end of the world. Like there are places that are further west of us, like Hawaii or Alaska, time zone wise, but they don't really have like a big population, like you might know a Hawaiian sort of thing. And Australia is so far away that it's kind of like the same distance time wise as Europe, and obviously also on a different day. So like your weekend might only just be starting and they're already on Monday. So it's a weird vibe. Very different. Obviously, EU has to deal with NA feeling very US centric, but you live with what you have. I have a suspicion, based on the name of this game, that I know what's going to happen in this game.
I mean, expecting it to be a platformer, maybe?
That feels correct. It's either that or it's about sweaters, so
Fair.
we'll see. Given the controls, it does not seem like it's necessarily a sweater game.
Right,
Whatever that
controls.
possible.
I'm commentating. I need to read the pace being.
It's three things. I think you'll be fine. Also, reading the pace bit is a fraudulent thing for a commentator to do.
Mhm. Okay, this line scares me. You can pick any character you feel will beat your level best.
Oh goodness. Okay, it's time to talk about mystery gaming. So there's like really like three like big skills that we see that kind of add up. You got like the twitchiness to be able to handle a platformer. You gotta have like the brains, the cleverness to be able to handle a puzzle, and then you've just gotta have the know-how, the chutzpah, the je ne sais quoi, to be able to just look at a game and go, yeah, this is nothing like anything I've ever seen before, but I'm going to proceed quickly anyways. Seeing the line, you can pick any character you feel will beat your level best, is very much a, okay, I'm in a fighting game, which one sends the fireball? Which one has a good low kick? It's, and that's a skill. And it's an important skill, because we can definitely see, like, if one person just finds a character who has a double jump, and the other characters don't have a double jump, that character will be easier for you as a new player to play quickly than a character that has a more complicated movement option that in theory might be faster for like a true speedrun. These aren't true speedrun, these are blind speedruns.
But at the same time, this kind of line can mean one of two things for me. Either all players are equal, or it's quite obvious what's the difference between each player. So this one jumps higher, this one runs faster. And so you will know from the stage what you want to play as.
Yeah, I think of like racing games when you look at the stats and it's like acceleration versus speed, and I'm like,
Acceleration.
give me acceleration. If I'm running blind, I'm going to be crashing into walls or hit by bananas or the equivalent of. Give me that acceleration. I'm curious how it shows. We'll show on what is presumably a platformer, given the name and the controls being move, jump. These levels are also going to be quite quick, so our goal is going to be to finish 510, which means there are 5 worlds, and there are at least 10 levels in the 5th one, implying that there's going to be like a 50 level race. These are going to be presumably quite quick as we go through. All things you can just kind of imply from reading a pace bit before you get into a race, or in our case, before you start looking at the game. Fire 2, what is this?
Okay. So
The song is
Also,
called You Must Dance, and it absolutely feels like I must dance. What were you saying?
and also another really important part about doing the tech part of things. Cropping stuff in a black background. You gotta love that.
Uh, there's no crime in doing so, but I love when a player just moves their window during the race, and it's like, oh no, you've done the biggest crime you could possibly do. You've made somebody do work.
Okay, just need to check for clean audio and we should be good to go. Now let's review the game already. Army. But we are going to play Jumper.
3. And my instinct was right. We have a YatogamiNL representing a Netherlands flag. Desdar, I believe that's like Luxembourg, so a European duel here in a game called Jumper 3 that I assumed was a platformer, but there is a rocket ship on screen, so maybe we're jumping to hyperdrive, to outer space. I think it's probably just a platformer.
Right, I will need to recrop stuff. So let me stay in this monitor like this. It's all good and fine. And I need to know how to type enter. There we go. Let's see if the game has audio. Does. The race is off.
Your name is Chipotle. That was actually really quickly typed. I was expecting AAA, but I think that was actually on the keyboard. Let's go to Red Ogmo. And we are some super Meat Boy little dude. And we move really fast. I mentioned that we're going to 5-10, so beat World 5, and you can see why our character has a lot of mobility, and these levels do not look particularly big so far.
Oh, drop this top.
Yatogami is flying so far. It has very like Super Meat Boy sort of feels, and now they have to learn something. We're doing the skid jump here. It's a powerful jump, and if they're just trying to figure out how to do it without reading the flashing box, they're gonna have a slightly harder time.
Let's check.
There we go.
That isn't work.
Okay. In our race, Yagami has moved on to a different color character. We are still Ogmo. We have a grapple. This game is sick. So there is a button for special move, and seemingly it's different for each color character. So now we have a grapple as green. Desdar is like wildly slower as a character. Are they having like frame issues?
Yeah, the star is way slower. Let me go back to the... Yeah, like, just look at the character moving in the star side. That's a completely different game. So let's go here and reactivate Rainwave.
I think the other option is, in my opinion, Yatogami was going very quickly. Either way, just make sure that for next game that they have the, what was it, 60 frame limit that we have as a rule. You're meant to like update something for not 1080p, just one of those letters and numbers thing, just to make sure that the frames are all the same. I don't remember what the actual thing is. Someone in chat, I'm saying things that vaguely make sense, and you will obviously clarify. But yep, we're gonna get a new game here because those games are obviously running very differently, and should be a bit quicker than the first one because we've got everybody in chat, and we just need to figure out what we're doing next.
Okay.
Game looked fun. We might see in the future.
Okay, so the star forfeited. Now just Yatogami needs to forfeit.
We did avoid one thing that was happened in these sort of situations before, especially with a first-time racer where they just don't look at the race chat for 20 minutes. They just continue gaming at full speed, head down, and thankfully we've avoided that situation.
Race, new game. Oh, I typed it in mystery. Wrong channel.
Trembles. I know you have like a comedic background, Trembles, but you make the joke that I'm gonna say like 5 to 10 seconds before I say it consistently. Which, I mean, good job, but you like think about my feelings for once. Scramble is saying, good job baiting the regulars to join the other race so these two can have their own personal race. Amen, brother.
Okay, we are using the new room. Whoops. This looks... This looks like a name. Oh yeah, this won't have issue with the platform.
Well, no, I'm excited. We only got to see like a few minutes of Yatogami there, but they seemed ready to go if we hand them another platformer. We have very little insight to our first edition racer, but vaguely anime profile, 3 minutes of good looking gaming. I'm excited to see what they can show us here.
That is made in Abyss, so mad respect. That's an anime and manga.
I've gotten like so much more into anime uh, in like the last year or two. In part because my roommates watch stuff. What's the four-letter? I believe all four letters stand for colors, like RWY
Ruby, RWBY.
BY. That's my line. I'm like, nope. That's where the weeds can stay. I don't know what's going on here. Uh, it's too much. Um, I don't know. It's funny. We obviously are like all just nerds playing video games at the end of the day. But we just have different flavors of nerds, and I'm like, can I not keep our the yeah, there we go, RWBY. And it's not and this is the issue I have with it. You've fallen into my trap, Sire Hydra. I call it anime, and they go, it's American, therefore it's not anime. I'm like, nope, this is exactly the sort of argument somebody who likes anime way too much would say. And it gets him every time. Now the other one was like solo leveling. Like I enjoyed, what was it, Free Run and Dungeon Meshi, and I was like, ooh, another anime that's about going into dungeons. And then some foolish friend said, oh, it's not an anime because it's Korean. And then another friend went, oh, but the manga is Korean, but the actual anime is made by Japanese people. And at this point, I've already tuned out. It's too much. But I do like anime profiles when we see them on a racer, because it usually means that they, at least on social media, it usually means that they go fast. That's one of my, I've never seen either of you before, but I need to figure out who to put in my predictions on challenge. Criteria is anime profile. I love when we ask, have you played this incredibly obscure sounding game that is also incredibly obscure?
Found the best part is this is a NES game. Is this the name of an NES game?
I mean, it has, I don't know how to name games because I've never seen a game name before because it's 1987 energy.
Fair? That's a fair point.
Like they just made Jumpman, man. They're like, I mean, we just saw Jumper 3. To be fair, people haven't gotten any better. But they're like, yeah, this dude. I mean, we make the joke about run and shoot man, for Mega Man, and it's like jump and shoot man, and it's like, yeah, that is what those
This
are the things he did.
December.
And I mean, Mega Man in itself is already a incredibly simple uh, name. To be clear, when you say this is an NES game, this is an NES game for 2018.
Yeah, I didn't know that, to be fair. Oh, that's a nice beat the game goal.
That's a good pace, Ben. That's a nice pace.
Controls, yes?
Controls. Yeah, there's some controls.
Good pace being. We like our games simple. Just play the game and it's all good.
Yeah, and goal beat the game. Easy peasy. No questions asked. Yeah. Thank you, Sire Hydra, for improving my point with the is it manhwa? Uh,
Manhwa. Yeah.
manhwa. I have like really enjoyed just every piece of Korean media that I've watched over the last few years. Be it like the game shows. I know like Devil's Plan is available on Netflix, but we watch the old stuff. Korean movies, they know what they're up to. So I have a suspicion, given I've heard solo leveling is in a lot of the same categories as something like Dungeon Meshi or Free Run, that I would enjoy it. But when someone says the word manhwa to me, I they're not convincing me. That's not a way to trick me to watch more media. Racers are getting ready, but the important ones, the two that we care about, are hopefully drinking water. This is a trap that you run into if we have like technical delays. Is you just spend more time not going to the bathroom, not drinking water, and not doing the things that will not directly make you feel feel like you're going faster, but like don't race dehydrated. It's terrible.
Maybe you drink too much water and then you need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the race.
If you need to go to the bathroom, you definitely go faster. That's just science.
I disagree, but okay.
Like, if I don't beat this boss right now, I'm going to burst.
Look,
That's good motivation. I'm not sure you need motivation. You also have an opponent and in an event, but
it was a weekly blind, but I left in the middle of the race to run to the bathroom, and there's nothing wrong with doing that.
I have like a few like speedrun games that I've played. One of them being New Pokemon Snap, and I love it because it's so casually uh, paced for a speedrun. Where you're like, okay, and here's our 2-minute cutscene, and I'm like, okay, here's where I go get snacks.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so this happens every time, where I see we get a lot of submissions from the like previous editions. It's currently Wizard the Ancient and Lizardo have been
Pioneer.
the Pioneer have been submitting a lot of our games, and I'm like, wait, retro? No, I want. We have 1,000 Steam games a week being added. Surely there's some new MT fodder if I just peek around. And then I submit those, and then all the retro games run out, and we get sad because to call this retro is a bit. This is retro in the same way
Is
that UFO 50 is retro, where you're like,
no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no.
sure.
This is retro in the same way that Lawnmower is retro.
Please explain.
Lawnmower is a 2011 game for the NES. So this is just a few years younger than that game, but it's the same idea. It's a game made in the last couple of decades, running in an old ass platform, but it's a new game.
I feel like for it to be a new game, it has to have those like new game sensibilities. Well, we'll see with this game when we get it. We get it up here. They should be.
Not seeing Yatogami. Yeah, Yatogami still doesn't have a game on the stream.
No.
Oh, damn, Strambles with the right question. Is Lisandro a wizard who lost to Wizardo? Or is
Oh,
Lisandro the original lizard?
so my lore is that wizards turn other wizards into lizards. Like he turned me into a newt. So like I believe anything in wizard's bracket is just a wizard duel, but I'm under the impression that you get changed into a lizard. Now the lizards, to note, there will be a lot of them. Basically, everybody gets turned into a lizard, and they can eventually come and uprise the last wizard. I'm not sure how that will work when you're in like grand finals and a lizard turns a wizard into a lizard. Maybe just chanting one of us, but or maybe can a wizard turn themselves into a lizard? I guess that's just forfeiting.
Yeah, you can.
You just like point the wand at yourself and go
Nope, I'm out
cast
of here.
cast a polymorph. Oh yeah, there is the bracket reset. That's true. It would be just a lizard overrunning a wizard.
Right.
Okay. Our conversations about lore are going to have to end because the good
We
luck have fun.
should be ready.
As long as you are ready to transition to gameplay.
Fine. Yeah, since Yatogami, I guess, isn't focused on the screen, and that's why his game is stuck, it seems. But yeah, we are playing the Cowlitz Gamer's second adventure with the goal of beat the game. Or do I just dot an enter?
I mean, I appreciate that Yatogami's giving us the lore. Apparently, we need to get gold to buy fireworks for the New Year's festival, which seemed incredibly well timed. We found a New Year's game.
Just real quick, just to be sure. Seems to be it.
I mean, we could also just have Desdar click normal and then start from the story page.
Oh, has Yatogami made select normal?
I don't know. I was
Yeah.
under the impression the story comes after the difficulty.
Yeah, that could be it. Oh,
Oops. I believe.
someone isn't using the demo pack.
That song that was playing was a jam, by the way. And now we're playing Street Fighter, which has historically always had good songs. So, good job, radio.
Okay, let's check what happens now. That's so much fun.
Well, welcome in, Ferret. We played a game that you submitted in the last couple of days, and I remember it because it's one of the few exceptions that we've had to the Wizard and Lizard submission. Oh, do you recall which it was, Ferret?
Was it the deer?
Oh, likely.
That was the first race. It was an I Spy game.
Oh, yeah, the I Spy game. I love that night. That night made my day.
Okay. I'm seeing the title screen.
I can't judge. I'm pretty sure I was on the third game the first time I joined Mystery Tournament. We just we struggled technically on one. Me and my opponent just could not handle the second game. We just both got abused by the game, and then the third game I actually recall well. Didn't make that.
Alright.
So, there's nothing new here. We don't have technical difficulties here. It's not raining.
Wait, it is raining. Here, kind of. We don't have technical difficulties. We have a game. Now I am Winter, and we will have the game out in a moment.
And cut. This is where you click on the YouTube video to watch some game. We saw lore. There's no more lore. We see our dude, and we see 3 enemies on screen. Let's go. As a reminder, this is the most simple face spin I've ever seen.
We have seen this game in the past.
Oh, I remember these hallways. Oh no.
Oh yes.
Nope. There you go.
But yeah, basically, you have to collect all the gold and to open the exit and just continue. I guess they will have to go down the path again afterwards.
Would make sense in like we need to go back. So the lore, because we saw Yatogami on a screen earlier, was that we are collecting coins for the New Year's festival, so we can have fireworks. So we found a New Year's game. I know we were talking about Christmas games and New Year's games. This is in the same way that Die Hard is a game about is a movie about Christmas. This is a game about New Year's. But it's also about collecting coins and avoiding little blue guys. Do you have any idea what these little blue guys are meant to be?
The slimes? Yes.
They're very fast for slimes.
What? The slimes came fast? Not all slime is a metal slime. But one thing that I was surprised in Yatogami in the previous stream is that they were able to kill one of the slimes. And that's clearly a reroll.
That was a nice suicide there. Desdar just went and ran into the coin, not caring about the enemy, and it gave them a good position to go find the exit, which doesn't appear until you get the coin, but has been at the top of the screen every time. So small optimizations, which are all you can really do here as we're early in the game.
Yeah, and it's a really good thing to see because you have infinite continues, so as long as you are using your lives and then taking a game over to restore those lives, like Yatogami has 0 lives there. He has been playing this, so it's fine. Oof. But like, if you enter a level with 0 lives, that's not that good of a strategy.
Okay, we saw the game over screen there for Yatogami. It's minimal, so yeah. Just life management and not doing risky, silly things when you have basically not enough life to pull it off regularly is, as you said, good strategy.
Though some
Obviously,
people,
the play of playing when it's your last life, you might also want to play slightly more conservatively, just so you don't have to go collect the coins you've already gotten again.
yeah, like some people like Maurice swears by not doing game over abuses just because you might as well try and learn something in your last life, which is valid.
Okay. What are these enemies? Are they just meant to be blades?
I was gonna call them skeleton.
Oh no, I mean the little blue guy walking around is a skeleton, sure. Just
Okay.
the spinning ones. I mean it's spinning, so just don't touch it. But I think everything on the game is don't touch it.
Blade seems fine.
And as according to Google, this is a 2018 game. But NES.
Right, and there are two exits. One on the bottom left and one on the bottom right. So I'm sure they will have to go to the bottom right exit on the way down from wherever they're going to.
I'm curious. So wait, chat's saying the blue guy's not a skeleton and a golem or a zombie. He does just walk off where he starts, which does seem very I don't have a brain. Skeletons obviously also don't really have a brain necessarily, they really just only have bones. But I feel like skeletons are more likely to patrol and not fall into a pit compared to zombies who just do the thing.
There is having a lot of trouble here because he's trying to go and do this in one cycle, I think, but he didn't realize that you have to do 2 cycles. Completes the level anyway. Oh, there are 2 players in this game. Okay, that may be that. March Master.
Okay, Origami is zooming, but this game does ask for patience at times, just because there are a lot of enemy cycles. So I'm curious when we get to like these particularly like cruel or difficult levels, if they are going to have that patience, because they clearly have the speed. They are making choices and they're making them quickly. Okay, these little yellow guys are cute.
Okay, that's not that bad taking that death for Yatogami.
Yeah, I think you just take a death here if they
Yep.
are heads up. Yep, that works.
But we talk about using life as a resource. Like, Desdar might know about that, but Yatogami is a new player, so I don't think a new player would have that instinct. Take game overs intentionally and stuff.
Actually, I mean, given the way that this level's played out, maybe they could have avoided it. Clear here is really clean. Desdar has the issue, he has 0 lives, and these yellow guys are hard to deal with without burning a life. Yeah, having to restart. That's not a good death. Basically, the way I'm reading Desdar level is you basically will take 2 deaths just to get the coins. So dying anywhere else, like dying to these bugs up there, is pretty premium. Yeah, it'll be fine. He had an extra 20 spare.
Yeah, that death was really good. But Yatogami has a good lead now.
Yeah. To know, the pace bin doesn't give us a exact understanding of like how many levels or worlds we're gonna see, but good to see progress here with the world color change.
They are
And
climbing 8 meters per level, I believe. So we do kind of know how many stages there are. Like 224 to 208, so it's 16 actually.
oh, okay. Assuming that we're going to 0 and not gonna climb a tower when we get up to
Yeah.
the top. Yeah, chat asking silly questions. Those blues are slightly different. European flag. European flags are silly, but yeah, this is Netherlands versus Luxembourg. If my flag knowledge doesn't betray me.
Jamie Principal does agree with you, so I'll go with you are right, because I don't know those flags.
Well, Netherlands is a bit free because Yatogami's got an L at the end of their name, which is just the two letter thing for
Okay.
Netherlands. But
Okay, now we have those long vines in Yatogami.
yeah, and has the lives do this? Yeah, and makes it first try here, taking a death there and having to walk all the way back up. Wouldn't have
Would
been
be
that much
bad.
time lost, but it would have been disheartening. This is a very different type of level to just have the vine level. And I feel like this is one of the like biggest signs that we're dealing with a like a modern game, because this feels like the sort of thing that you'd see in like the later like 2D Mario's. It's just these full vine levels, and not something you'd actually see from a NES game necessarily.
I kind of see this in a NES game, but I don't know any examples to prove it, so yeah.
I feel like, well, if this was a NES game, that would be the whole game. It would always just be like, here's the game where you walk on the wall.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, because there is still 2 levels behind. Oh, is Yatagami not seeing the vines there? Oh, now they see.
Yeah, just prioritizing the closer point first. I think you could just take a death here, and it would also be fine with the respawn.
Yeah.
But I don't think you necessarily want to, because you only have 2 lives left. Good Yatagami is quick on the trigger finger, which is always going to be a good thing for Mystery Tournament, but particularly platformer games.
Like, again, going by this is a modern NES game. We may have seen like coyote time, so you may be able to jump slightly after moving out of a platform. So this may have better quality of life controls.
As it is a modern game, for some reason we do have the timer on, which just feels a little bit unnecessary. Maybe the levels just get really quite difficult and it becomes important. We are beating the whole game, so we'll see. But these racers, obviously with their intention to go quick anyways, have not been threatened by the timer so far. And I only just noticed it myself. I can.
I don't think Desdar has realized yet that you can jump out of the vines, and like you do actually get 1 or 2 tiles off the vine, which will kind of be required there if he goes for this route. So time to learn. Or just do that.
It's a small technical to GFM. I turned my mic up a little bit because chat asked, so if it doesn't look like it's balanced, yell at me.
It's perfect. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yatagami's definitely taking more game overs, but is in the lead. And for any particular game, like how risky a game should be taken is very much game dependent. But in this game where you can just get a gold, and if you die after the gold, it's not hugely punishing unless you fail completely. It seems to be paying off. They're just able to play more aggressively and play faster.
Right here, he took a death, but he has the gold. Oh, it's all fine.
Now this is a bit scary.
Yeah.
Last life.
Oh, you have to kill the turtle for the coin.
Oh, okay. I remember this game now.
They maintaining the 4-stage lead. I really appreciate the numbers being the power of 2 because programmers sometimes are faster to do math with those numbers.
Okay, gotta beat yellow guy. Yellow guy's scary.
Yep. Bait it into
Yep.
jumping.
I mean, even if Desdar ends up making the comeback here, I think this is a great first showing for Yatogami. They just seem to understand pretty intrinsically, like, how to beat what I'm gonna say is a fairly standard MT game. Like, it's a platformer. You're dealing with like different enemy types. The levels have a bit of variance, and they are not showing any hesitation.
Yeah, no, for sure. Is this the last level or is there a level 0 after this?
I'm gonna say this is not the last level, both on it doesn't feel right and also my memory.
Okay.
But I could not tell you what's happening after this. I mean, it could be. Yatogami is just killing it. This doesn't have last level vibes either.
Yeah. No, that.
Yeah. I saw it coming.
Okay, you called it.
We've gone from depth to height. Yatogami takes the professional death there, and now taking less professional deaths.
Oh, is the chandelier what you're going to use to kill the turtle this time?
I see nothing else that can do it. Assuming. Oh, come on. What?
Aww.
How did that not? There you go.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
it's so- I only just noticed the gold on the sides, it's kind of blocked by the tower.
Okay, this gives some time for Desdar to try to make up this comeback. It is a lot, but it is possible.
I mean, Desdar has good pace. If they can just continue to truck through levels, not have any game overs, especially the ones where like you started on 3 lives and you don't make it through the level, you're often like, and Desdar has no knowledge of this. These racers are blind to the game, but also blind to where their opponents are in the game. But if the aggressiveness is punished from Yatogami, that would be Desdar's biggest. Because if they both just continue at the same pace, then Yatogami would just take the W.
Yeah. But here in the stars level, Yatogami did the smart thing of baiting the slime into the spikes. Okay, Desdar did it this time. But at least now he knows to do it for sure.
This is going to be a lot for Yatogami to do on 1 life, but I think you need to head up there, that gold. Okay. I mean, found a safe place to to catch their thoughts and no, just make it up the level perfect. Also got an extra life there somewhere. This is one of my favorite thing about things like NES remakes is you just get jamming music. Like that might genuinely be the reason that people make games on a previous like system instead of just making new games in Unity or whatever. Is you just get to have the excuse to have banging 8-beat music.
Other clear, are we going to 256 again?
Yeah, the arguments the tower is the same as the depths were deep. Sure, makes sense. It also would make sense just like in a race feel. A race going for about 30 minutes usually feels about right. We were 50 to the first half. And the argument could be that it might be a little bit longer because the second half of the game might be harder than the first half, and it's not like there was that much resistance in the beginning of the game.
Okay, Desdar got to the halfway point.
112 meters behind though, which are like 16 a pop, so like 5 or 6 levels at this point.
Yeah, 5 to this level.
Drops the chandelier, jumps into the chandelier.
That's more like... Yes, it.
There's a reason I said 5 or 6. It's one of those lessons from the Everwise mythical is don't do math on stream. Like, I'm good at math, and I still think it's a fool's errand.
Smart people do. You're not smart, I'm doing.
I just know if I was playing this game, I would just get destroyed by the little yellow guys every time. They scare me.
No, no, the little yellow guy less of an issue than this turtle dragon, I don't know, shooting stuff at you. Because I'm not paying attention that... Yeah. Shooting is a nice term to put. Dropping eggs. There we go. That's definitely eggs.
Where do these teleporters go? Oh, that's friendly. Just well out of the way so the turtle can't get to you. No patience there from
He wants to drop.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, so he just got hit by the 2 yellow spinny things because he had no patience, but the no patience is the reason why he's leading the race in the first place. Like, you just gotta take these small time losses on the chin if you're just gonna be aggressive enough to have an 100-meter lead at this point. I always think of Thor of Kenya, who we saw recently. He was playing the pool game, and I always love watching Thor of Kenya play like a platformer because he always just goes like full throttle. But then we were having him play like billiards, and he's just always full power, and I'm like, yep, still applies. The racers who are gonna play aggressive in a twitchy platformer are gonna play aggressive no matter what game you hand them, and I love them for it.
I remember Andy talking about this as well, that he usually plays a game as aggressively as the game will allow him. So kind of like what Yatogami is doing. So we could argue that Yatogami is being too aggressive with how many deaths he's taking, but also Yatogami is in the lead, so it is working.
Yeah, and really the only like big punishment in this is if you die after collecting all the gold. Uh, yeah, it's actually just gold. Uh, and that really hasn't happened very often for Yatogami. Like they're taking a purposeful loss here to get their full lives, so they can continue to play aggressive. So it's a time loss, but it's purposeful, it's with intention, and it's strong. Desdar is playing the turtle roll is like an incredibly insulting way to say it, but like in a turtle hair race, Desdar is playing more consistently. And if this game does start tripping up Yatogami, where the levels are too difficult to beat with 3 lives at full aggression, that would be Desdar's opportunity.
Yeah, that's a great
Okay,
take.
there's no more on the screen. I'm trying to figure out if the monkey frog is a monkey or a frog. The little brown guy who like just runs at you when he sees you.
Monkey frog.
thought- I-
The squirrel?
I thought it was like a little like monkey or rodent, but when it sits just waiting, it looks like a frog. Well, I'll point it out when we see it later.
What you're talking about, I still kind of think it's a squirrel or a...
Oh, squirrel, sure. Yeah, maybe. This level's interesting, just no enemies, basically. Just the fire.
Which is kind of easy to deal with.
Yeah, comically easy for Yatogami there. I imagine maybe like the rope jumps were a bit harder than Yatogami's made them look. I know that sort of thing is tripped up. Many a gamer, and even many a racer, where just jumping between ropes is in itself something that just takes a lot of precision.
Taking a death just to not go all the way around. Oof.
Is it a squirrel? It just like when it sits on its butt, like it just looks more froggy than any rodent I've ever seen.
No, it runs around. It doesn't hop around.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I know it's not a frog. It just squirrel isn't enough. I feel like every animal, like the turtle has wings. Like every animal here is doing the Avatar: The Last Airbender thing of its 2 things combined.
It's a fox. A fox squirrel.
Maybe it's because it's MT9. It's either a wizard or a lizard, and it's definitely not a wizard, so it's a lizard.
A lizard. Yep.
Most things on Yatogami's screen are wizards because they are shooting things. Like that fire pod is a wizard. This turtle that's flying is obviously a wizard, despite the fact that it might be reptilian, and you might think it's like a lizard. No, that's clearly a wizard. This level is much more devilish than the last one. Actually, for both of them, there's a lot going on.
Okay, this should be... Yeah, the seconds to last.
It definitely is like one of those things that the racers probably aren't tracking. Like you to be looking at how high you are instead of it being like a level count and it not being in the pay spin is just there's no reason to feel like this is going to be the last level, and it's probably for the better because that sort of that thought can make you nervous, can make your heart run, and you don't need it.
Yep. Don't do it.
Okay, so it can't be poop because the turtle also shoots it sideways out of its mouth.
No, because downwards it doesn't have the fire. Meanwhile, sideways it has a fire. Oh, that wasn't the last one.
I have a memory of watching somebody else commentate this and then getting baited multiple times so I don't want to commit to how tall this tower is, but we do know that the tower at this point is now taller than the pit was deep.
Yeah.
Oof. So that's one of those like sad losses for Yatogami, where they got a lot of the gold and now have to go get it again. But there just haven't been very many of those, and the lead is actually shortened. No, it's about the same. Just a bit over 100 meters, so about the same gap as when we saw Desdar get into the tower.
Nice dodges. Ooh, we have our first few dots done.
Oh, these two don't count. Have BC and Babs show up at every race and just stress out our current racers.
Okay, so they're training to become Maurice, I see.
Yeah, no, these two are just on their race. They're unfortunately, I think it's these two are like bracketed to potentially meet in Winners 2, which, given the quality that we've seen from them, just in both in MT's previous, but more importantly, just in the races that they join, where they are just consistently beating and putting up these dot duns before the racers have finished. They're both just gonna be, I think it's fair to say, like top 8 hopefuls.
Let's see.
Yeah, and it's rough for someone like Yatogami. It's like, here's your first time joining MT, and you've just seen 2 people finish who you might not have the context to know, should not be worried about. I mean, FBC's here. FBC, do you happen to know how tall the tower was?
512?
We've got a whole new color to go through. That's a sign that we aren't. This is, unless this was like literally the boss level, which it doesn't look like a boss level. We have just got a whole new portion of a tower to go through, so we've got plenty.
Yeah.
Okay, Fab says 400. So. We're running out of real estate for Desdar to catch up. I think they've. There's an argument that their consistency is keeping them in the race. But just as we approach the end of this game, end of this tower, I say that, and then they just take a unfortunate death there. This level's so noisy for them. I don't recall it from Yatogami, which is probably a strength of Yatogami, that they made what now looks like a very difficult level be forgettable. But I do not like these 50 blades.
No, not at all. Especially with the 2 sets. No, the 4 sets. No, the 2 sets each going over one side of the screen, kinda. It's really noisy. But makes it.
Yeah, good read there, and a life to spare. I would like just taking a death here from Desdar.
I can
They're making.
I like those intentional game overs by YatogamiNL.
Yeah, I think it just adds up, right? Like, if you just do a bunch of small things, intentional game overs, a bit of aggression, a bit of safety when you know you're on your last life, in addition to, just some quality platforming and some good reaction and enemy reading. If you do all the small things, it turns out that it ends up looking like you're doing the big thing, which is winning the race.
Oh, Smart's trying to go nope. I thought they were gonna go to the right side of the tower, but that works.
To note, of racers who've done this previously, like we had a race of this in 2020, none of those racers, including famed top 8 player Boney, would have finished at this point. So these guys are on pace with the previous racers. It's just these two gamers who just put up some disgusting times. Uh, the fastest that we've actually had was Crank Dud with a 25:56 for Beat World 5 previously. Back in 2015 against the Mexican Runner. What a name to.
Wait, are you looking at the correct game?
Oh, I'm looking at Jumper 3. Get out of here. I give up. Ignore everything I say, both just now, but also in general. We're on 368. We've got a noisy level here from Yatogami, but the cycles seem pretty friendly. All the enemies pile up at once, as long as you're not in that pile up, you're doing okay.
That's a convenient place for the exit. For Yatogami.
Seeing TMR's name, even if it's in the incorrect context, is wild. That dude has a Wikipedia page. For anybody who's showing up here relatively new, this is edition 19, and that means that we've been doing these mystery tournaments for a long time. I remember watching things like Mystery Tournament 10, which was X, and that was a lifetime ago. I don't even know anymore. There were 9 before that.
No, because we used to have 2 a year. And MT12 was in 2019, I believe. Okay, and that should be it.
Yep. One of the 3 things in this paste bin says time ends when you get the thank you for playing. There you go.
There you go. And there we go. That's the dot done. Well done. Nice first showing by Yatogami.
Yeah. Just doing all the things that I just want to see from a new racer. Just understanding some MT magic of like resetting lives, showing aggression, and showing just good gameplay all around. Because Desdar is not going slowly in any sense. Desdar is just continually making progress in this game, and despite that, it wasn't like a particularly like crazily close race.
Yeah, no. Even in the previous game, Yatogami did a great showing, and it just continued in this game.
Let's go pull up bracket.
Love mid score.
Okay,
Nice.
so
Sorry, just Desdar still has a long way to go. He hasn't even reached 250 yet.
yeah, so the top of the tower was, I mean, you can see it on screen for Yatogami, it's 400. Just like was slightly outpaced, I think, at all times. Like, Yatogami was just continually like building up the lead slowly but steadily, and I mean, Desdar's making progress. You cannot make that jump, sir. You're going to have to go the other way around to get that physical. Looking at the bracket, Yatogami is going to be facing up against the winner of Bright Shadow and the, as far as I can tell, Cookies Are Yum is a new player. Which is to say, no understanding of how intimidating a new player can be, but Bright Shadow will be a good challenge if it's them, and if it's somebody who just beat Bright Shadow, presumably also a good challenge. But
at the same time, new players are always like a big unknown. Like here with Yatogami, we didn't know until now if they were good or not or what, and they did a great showing for their first race.
Exactly. And then we're gonna just toss them the most rancid puzzle we can think of, and that'll be a new test. To note, and this is often true with the way the bracket's built, Desdar will be playing the loser of that aforementioned game. So
Yeah. And yeah, Ezerfnif is right. Cooks are yum. Is from Kusol. I do remember they mentioned that. Oh, they are very scary. Okay.
you say very scary, and I know you mean they are very good, but I first went, ooh, spooky. I really appreciate that this has a really quick get back into the game. Because it's also one of those things that wouldn't necessarily be true if this was an
True,
actual
and
NES game,
yes. Yeah.
where you're like, we got to show you this 4-second death animation. It takes 3 seconds to load the game over screen, and you're just sitting there mashing. I mean, Maurice is a real space cowboy. You should have seen that coming. I said it at the beginning of the stream, and I'll say it again. Get your games scheduled, lads. The idea that we have one game scheduled for all of the first Sunday is wild. I know that not all of you went to church. Come on.
Great, Yatogami. I don't know, we could call Yatogami for the interview right now as we are watching, because this may go for a while still.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Sure. Feel free to join any channel if you want to talk, and we will pull you over here. I didn't see what Andy commented. Continues use it. Yes. Fair.
Oh, it's asking if you could just beat the game first try without
Wants
a
to
continue.
see. Yeah.
I feel
No,
like there was like
the game has that.
yeah, I feel like there was a little bit of like you could gain lives back. I do not recall or could not figure out what caused you to gain a life.
Yeah, I didn't hear that
So
at any
Cook up,
point.
man!
Okay. Hello, Yatogami.
Hello, hello.
Well done for your first match. GG's.
Thank you, thank you. It's kind of a fun idea to actually, participate in this mystery tournament and stuff.
Is this your
Yeah.
first mystery race of sorts, or
This
have you...
is my very first, yes.
So neither Cuso Grande nor any other tournament.
Nope.
How'd you find out about it?
A couple I think I saw something hosted on GDQ, or it was referenced. I do not remember, but I saw it once and I was like, I want that too. And then they say join the Discord and all that. So I joined in, but I never had the time to participate. So I asked my community, all right, I have more time now, and it's a pretty cool moment that they finally do another one. So what if I participated as well?
Yeah, and in theory, it can be an hour of your life, but you're going to winners bracket, which means you're getting at least 2 more games.
Right?
So we were watching your gameplay. It seems like you had a pretty good understanding of how to proceed with this game. We were pretty impressed with how quickly you were willing and able to just like take a death to reset your lives. Do you have experience with this sort of game, or like old school platformers?
Platformers, yes, but this thing was confusing because I was like, okay, it has one jump button and you can drop down, easy enough, right? And then you realize it's an NES game, and of course NES, SNES is are these consoles I played kind of the most. Unfortunately, they do not like inputs. So I just died because some things didn't come out or whatever. Or
Yeah,
I did multiple things and they were like, nah.
I was generally impressed with like how quickly you're able to just put in a duck when an enemy or thing was like flying over your head. So, yeah, you seem to have the prerequisite twitchiness to do well in this tournament.
It depends. It depends. We have no idea what you will draw.
Oh,
So,
exactly.
There's also another point. How are you with puzzles?
oh god. Rip.
Okay,
I would
you're
not
like
say I'm the best, but I can do something. Fast is another word.
it's always nice. There's just there's certain opponents, like I have Okami in the beginning of my bracket where like this dude will beat me in everything, but I'm like, if we race, I'm like, do I just die when the game gets pulled? Like, I wouldn't have beat you in this. Your platforming's great, but maybe if a puzzle, maybe it's the other way around. So it always comes down a bit to the draw. I mean, obviously we saw, what was it, the Gons made it to top 8 and wasn't selling himself, but it's like, no, you're good enough at games to get away with it when you do pull one. And he was doing great at puzzles or great at platformers. You can have a good bracket.
Now, see, puzzle platformers is something else.
Puzzle platformers, I feel like, are the most MT game. Just like I feel like anytime you see a puzzle platformer, you're like, yep, this could go into MT because it's just kind of testing all the things that we like to test. Did you get baited, by the way? Did you think that the game was going to be over when you reached?
Yes. Yes.
So this has happened. I remember when we've had this in MT before, and the commentators got baited that time, and then we get baited again because we knew that the game started 256 meters underground, but you actually go 400 meters up in the tower.
That's crazy.
So it's like, the tower is just taller than the underground part. Favorite enemy, by the way? There's only one correct answer.
What do you mean one correct answer?
It's the poopy paratrooper.
Okay, fair.
Poopy paratrooper. Why are y'all like this?
I mean, we still got Desdar on screen here, and he's making good progress. You can watch the VOD back, but generally, you just had a little bit of pace on him the whole time. There wasn't like a point that you were really getting caught out and losing time. Oh yeah, I need a second opinion. The little brown guys who run at you when they see you, what in your mind what animal or beast did you consider them?
The one on the start
little-
screen on the bottom left.
I think I saw them just as slimes.
That's definitely not the right answer. Like I'm thinking of an animal. Like it's a. If you have this,
animal?
if you have the stream up.
Yeah,
he's
I'm
running
screen
around
sharing
on left.
as well.
Oh wait, there's a screen share.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one are you talking about? The one on
The bottom
left?
bottom left guy who's guarding nothing but is having a fun time running back and forth.
Oh, I thought of like a jaguar or something. Actually.
Good
So,
answer.
it's a good answer. Good answer.
What is it? Just a cat?
We have no clue. I just
We have no clue.
GFM said squirrel. I was like not even convinced it was a rodent. A jaguar is completely different though. But
It's a rat. Oh my god.
That's good. You enjoyed the game, it sounds like?
Hell, bro, I was sold at the menu screen. I was like, wait a minute, this game has bangers?
You gonna play Cowlitz Gamer's first adventure?
Oh yeah, there is a first one. Yeah, I should check it out. Absolutely.
Okay, it's not named First Adventure, it's just named Adventure. Which makes sense, you never know.
Makes sense.
You can destroy the blade with
Yeah,
the
you can.
chandelier.
Which I literally found out at this point as well. I was like, wait, where the heck is the lower blade? So these are slimes, right? Or are they slugs?
Yeah. I mean,
Slimes, yeah.
yeah, we'll accept slugs here. I just like the turtle guy with wings.
Wait, and the guy running around the platforms. What's that?
Well, it's like
That's a
long.
beetle.
I agree
Yeah,
with Yatogami.
Yeah. So I'm down to make everything either a wizard or a lizard. So we have a lot of lizards on screen, but one of these boys is shooting fireballs, which, as we know, is very wizard.
You know what? Totally fair. Keep it themed.
I know we had golf, and then everybody forgot to submit golf games, so maybe we'll do better. This was a New Year's game. I believe you had the lore up on your screen for a bit. You're collecting money for fireworks for New Year's, which
Really?
is about as timely as we can get for a holiday. So, good job, the random game pooler, on pulling the New Year's themed game.
Okay, and that should be it for Desdar.
There we go. Now you can see the fireworks.
Nice.
Wait, if you're playing two-player, is the text is different? Because
Yeah,
it
for
says
sure.
that it's a shame watching it that there with no one. Okay, there is the dot there. 50 minutes and 32 seconds. Nicely done.
Jump.
Back to the... Wait. Before going back, let me write this. And now we wait for a bit until the star join.
He's in the waiting room.
Oh, there we go. He's here. Hello, hello, Desdar.
Hello.
GG's.
Thank you, GG's as well, and congratulations to Yatogami.
Thank you.
So how did you enjoy this game? How do you enjoy NES games in general?
I do enjoy NES games in general, and I'd say I'd like the game except for the jumping controls of ropes or ladders or grates or if you're climbing and you're trying to jump, that you cannot jump off it when you're holding a direction that is. I think there were some old NES games that actually did that, but it's very old school. It feels like.
Yeah, I got suspicious about the controls when there was a level that was just like 6 ropes. And I was like, this cannot be the same like level of difficulty as the levels before or after unless they're aware that the rope jumping is like more difficult than it looks.
Yeah. And that cost me quite a bit. And another mistake, I was trying to go too fast on some of the levels and just going into the same death again and again and again because I thought like, okay, I can jump over it, and just kept going into it all the time.
Yeah, I was under the impression that you had a pretty like healthy pace there. Like I think you were actually the more consistent of the two because Yatogami was actually more aggressive. You guys can watch it back. You can see what one other person playing the game looks like in the VOD. But no, you guys put up a good showing for a game that we enjoy. I gotta ask, did you get baited? Did you think the game would be over when you reached the ground, reached the tower?
I was open to the possibility of it, but the tower had the celebration on the top as soon as you arrived, and here you just had the cutscene, and I wasn't sure. Let's put it like that. If it had been over, I wouldn't have been too surprised, but that it continued didn't surprise me either.
But what about reaching the 256? Because I was baited. Yeah, there was a counter of your height in the top left corner.
Yes.
You start at minus 256, and then I was like, okay, so it must end when you reach 256 positive.
No, that I didn't think that. Yes, I started minus 256, but I did not expect to end it at 256 up.
Right, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I as I mentioned during the race, paying attention to like the little numbers and stuff. All you can really ask is just to go ahead. One last question because it's important. Did you have a favorite enemy? And there's only one correct answer.
Okay, I think you're talking about the Poop Cooper?
Yeah, that's a good name for it. I like that.
GG. So with that, we were talking about this earlier, but your next match will be with the loser of Bright Shadow and Cooks Are Yum. So let's see how that goes. But speaking of next matches, we have coming up a bunch of stuff. Tomorrow is really packed. Hopefully someone will be able to restream those. Because we have at 9 a.m. Polary versus Bullet Dancer JJ at 12 p.m. YD12K versus Flipped 663 at 2 p.m. The Lupine one versus It Might Be Mikey at 3 p.m. Freeball 1 versus Just Morphonica at 6 p.m. Tiger 64 versus Aspion, and a bunch more matches after that. So yeah, tomorrow is packed. But thank you, Joe, for joining GG on the race. Odinu,
GG's.
thanks for joining on commentary.
Yeah, no worries.
And thanks everyone for watching. See you all next time. Bye bye.